everybody. Today I'm going to show you how to clone your hard drive to your solid state drive. I mean, it takes a couple of hours, but it increases your performance like tenfold. So I'm going to show you step by step how to clone it, how to set it, and start it. You'll be all set. I'll include links below. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. And don't forget, make sure you drink some Go Fast while you're doing it. I hope you guys enjoy.
Okay, now that you get your solid state drive connected to your computer and you got it powered on, you're logged in, what you want to do is you want to update the firmware that comes on it. You want to make sure you have the most recent one. So you got to go out to the manufacturer's website and download the firmware updater. And this is what I'm doing right now is I'm double checking to make sure that the firmware version that I have is the most current. So as you can see, I open up my SanDisk toolkit. Yep, it's got the right most recent one. Close it out because we're done. I don't need to flash it or anything. Now we're going to open up CCleaner. And what CCleaner is, it's a free tool that you can download, and I'll include the links below, that will erase all types of system files or temp files, histories, cookies, downloaded stuff. Basically, you want to shrink down what's on your hard drive so that way you can, when you clone it to the new solid state drive, you're not bringing over a bunch of crap, and if you're worried about space, this is the best way to do it. So just go through and check some of the boxes as you can see there on which ones you want to delete, and go ahead and run it. Now it's going to take a little bit depending on the size of some of the temp files, Windows files, recycle bin stuff. Just let it go through it. It'll probably take like 5-10 minutes at the most. So we'll go ahead and we'll run that now to shrink up anything that we have. Alright, now that it's done, as you can see, it finished and deleted all that stuff. You can go ahead and review anything if you need to, but it pretty much shows you what's been deleted, how much space has been saved. So go ahead and once that's done, we're going to close this out and go through to our next one. This is called Defragler. Now, you can use the defrag that comes with Windows, but this is also a free app that you can download, and I'll include the links below to it. And what it does is it'll go ahead and do the entire drive and compact everything, because the way hard drives work, you have the platter, so everything is kind of set up to where it's kind of all over the place. Well, with solid state drives, they don't work that way. So you want to compress everything and defrag it, so that way when you copy the image over, everything is in its place. And everything runs a little bit smoother, and it runs a hell of a lot faster. So you'll go ahead and you'll analyze it, and after it's done, you're going to go ahead and, as you can see, my drive was pretty fragged out. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to run it. Now this for me probably took, I don't know, an hour, hour and a half, because I had a terabyte drive. I mean, there wasn't much data on it, but it still took a lot. So as you can see, it's going through, and it's going to start the process and take a while to do it. But I would definitely recommend this software, and like I said, I'll include the links below to this, as well as instructions that you can follow along with it. So now we'll let this run for a bit. And while this is doing it, we can also check to make sure that the solid state drive is recognized. You'll have to open up a command prompt as the administrator in order to do this. And you can run it concurrently with this software running. It's not going to hurt anything, because you're just going to see that the drive's there, and make sure that there is enough room in the beginning of it. You want to have just enough space in the front of it versus the hard drive. It's a little different. The instructions will explain it in a little bit more detail, but you shouldn't really have to mess with it too much. I'm just going through the steps just to double check. You know, it's located on your accessories. You find your command prompt, you right click it. You want to run it as an administrator. Windows 7 is weird like that. Everything's got to be run as administrator. Now it scans it. I'm doing the disk part so that way you get into it. And you want to list all the drives to make sure that they're all there. And as you can see, my solid state drive's there. I got a 240 gig SanDisk Stream. I got it pretty cheap on Amazon, which is probably the best place that I've found to buy drives from time to time. Or you can check out like Fat Wallet or Slick Deal. Sometimes they post awesome deals on solid state drives. Okay, I'm selecting my disk 3 because that is my solid state drive. Now it's selected. And now I'm just going to double check to make sure that the partition is in place. Now it tells me right there that I don't have enough space available on it because when I inserted the drive, it automatically formatted. So you want to make sure that it's unformatted at that point. You can do it after your defrag is done, but you want to make sure that you don't have any allocated space whatsoever on that drive. So don't format it or make it usable at any point. Just leave it the way that it is in your computer. Okay, now that it's done, we're going to go ahead and open up EaseUS. It's a partition master. This is also a free software that you can do and run to basically clone the hard drive, and you want to add it to the solid state drive. So you're going to go ahead and open it up. You're going to select your partition, which I've done already, which is my C drive. You're going to go ahead and copy it. It's going to go through the steps because you want to create a copy of it in order to put it onto the solid state drive. So it'll go through all its little checks and make sure everything's okay. Sometimes this takes a bit. It takes like 5-10 minutes, 15 minutes, something like that. This is a lengthy process, so don't get discouraged if it kind of sits there for a little bit because it will eventually finish. It just takes a while to get it done. Okay, now that it's finished, I'm going to go ahead and select the drive that it's going to. So I select my solid state drive and I go through the prompts. Yep, I want to copy everything the way that it is. It'll add like a task to it. Now, there's a couple of different ways to run it after that, but you can hit finish. And this is where you want to put the 1024 right in the unallocated space. So you can leave this blank, or you can put that in there, but it's kind of required for the solid state drives. Go ahead and hit finish. It starts. Now you can just close this out, or you can hit run or execute, whatever. I just chose to hit the X on the top, and then it prompts you, okay, are you sure you want to do this? You know, yep, I'm ready to run, and it will start the reboot process. Now, as it's rebooting, it will automatically kick in to clone the drive. Now, you can't do this. Obviously, you can't do it with your C drive running because there's files locked in. So that's where this program comes in, and as soon as the computer starts coming back up, it'll say, hey, okay, it sees that there's a task in there to clone the drive, and it'll go ahead and start the process. It gives you a few seconds right in the beginning if you wanted to cancel it and check something before you do this. You can do that to double check anything, but I just went ahead and let the timer go down, so that way it kicks off the process by itself. And here you can tell, it's in master boot mode. You can abort it, just let it go. Now this is a lengthy process too. This probably takes like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, depends on the size, but I sped it up for you guys so you didn't have to sit here and watch everything, because it takes a lot of time. So now that I got it cloned, it's going to go ahead and reboot. So now I should have my C drive completely cloned to my solid state drive. I'm going to go ahead and boot up. And it says that the operation was completed, so that's fine. It'll go ahead and kick off another reboot. That way it knows that it's done. It's got to finish that task, so that's how it knows to finish it. So if it does this, don't worry about it. It's completely normal. Okay. Next thing we have to do is we're going to have to go into the BIOS to make sure that we switch the solid state drive back to the main drive. Okay. I'd put a BIOS password on your BIOS, guys. I mean, if you got people coming over, whatever. I mean, I've got one on mine, but you don't really have to. So now you're going to switch which hard drive is going to boot to versus your standard hard drive that you have been. So now, I went to first boot device to just make sure that it didn't populate in there, to make sure it says hard disk is the first one, but if you want your CD-ROM or whatever one first, but I chose hard disk. Now, this is where you go into your hard disk boot priority, and you will select which drive you want first. Now, as you can see, my SanDisk is the third one down, where my Western Digital was the first one. So I want to move that SanDisk all the way to the top, so that way when it reboots again, my solid state drive should pick up and boot right to it, no problems, and we're done. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. You want to make sure you save your changes and reboot. Now it's going to reboot onto my solid state drive, and it should be just as like I had it on the other one. So this is a lengthy process. It takes a couple of hours, and it's not for the faint of heart, because some things can happen during this process. But I hope you guys learned a lot from this. I would not recommend formatting your original hard drive until you're sure everything is copied over. So I hope you guys like what you saw. If you did, like and subscribe. You can check us out on Facebook. Leave us some questions or anything like that. Check out our website, uwishproductions.com. Our videos are posted there. So, hey, check out GoFast. It's what we drink when we're doing these videos. So, again, like, subscribe, and we'll check you guys out later. Thanks for watching.